Hello everyone, welcome to Global Government News. Today is Tuesday, July 27th, 2010, and I am Darko. Again, welcome. I have a kind of not a special video, but I definitely have a video that's been well prepared, and I have a lot of information that I'm going to include in this video, possible video series. One video, two videos, don't really know. Just however much time I need to get my point across. But briefly, I'm going to just fly through about 4 articles that I've covered in recent videos, just to give you background on some recent news that I've come across on Iran, U.S. and Israeli tensions as far as sanctions go and possible attacks. Right off the bat, though, I just want to say, just so you know how I feel about all of this, is that I don't want to say that an attack on Iran is going to come at this time, and it's going to come by this country, because the way the powers that be operate, they don't even honestly know exactly what's going to happen, because there is still a kind of a shred of what do you call it, circumstances and kind of a natural organic result of everything. So not everything is planned to the T by these people, and so there is things that will change. And I just wanted to say that there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of stuff pointing towards Iran and Israel, and that kind of being the center point where it's going to pop off, and those are the countries that are going to be involved in it directly. So that's pretty much what I believe. As far as what they're going to do, why they're doing that, I can't exactly say why. I just know that it's the U.S. and the U.K. and Israel on one side, and then it's Russia, China, and Israel, or not Israel, I'm sorry, Iran, kind of on the other side, the east and the west. And so there's ruling families that dominate the entire planet, our social system, our economic and political system, and it's pretty much controlled. And just as much as there's a phony left and right, Republican, Democrat, blue and red, in almost every country, you can kind of look at the planet and divide it up into that, a red and a blue, a left and a right, a communism versus a fascist model of control. So there's no real side that's better or worse. They're all the same ruling bloodline families. But here you go. It says House okays possible Israeli raid on Iran. Most of you are already aware of this, but I just wanted to include this article with the next article. U.S. strike on Iran likelier than ever, former CIA chief says. Michael Hayden says Iran intends to reach the point where it's just below having a nuclear weapon, adding that such a step would be as destabilizing to the region as the real thing. That's a very important statement, because what he's saying is that they can preemptively strike Iran if they believe they're close to having a nuclear weapon, not even having one. Can anyone say Iraq? Besides 46 warships and 7,000 Marines that are being stationed out in Costa Rica, I think could have separate, or it could actually have a connection with this whole not debacle, but this whole situation in the Middle East with Iran and that, and the U.S. and Israel, and these warships. Armada of U.S. and Israeli warships head for Iran. You have that going on. That was a month ago. You have this report: Israel, U.S. preparing for war with Iran. This is from Israel Today. A flurry of news reports over the past week indicate that Israel and the U.S. are readying for an imminent military strike on Iran's nuclear facilities. But this is what I'm getting to, and these in this video and the next video, is that it's not going to be just strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. They can go about it that way, or they can do that afterwards, but they're going to launch this, what Ahmadinejad calls a psychological war against Iran. And so that's it's kind of going from the neocon kind of preemptive, just we got to hit them before they hit us, just start bombing them. And then there's the kind of indirect, more intelligent psyop type war, where you got like the Brzezinskis and the think tanks playing two countries off against each other, while the third country kind of sits in the background and lets chaos, take place, and then they come in and exploit that, and they launch like color revolutions, like in Ukraine and Iran, and that to create dissent and political instability, economic instability, and that's everything that they're doing to Iran. But then moving on to all this news, we just covered the background. You have this, and it says U.S. to attack 2 Mideast countries in the next 3 months. And that's what Ahmadinejad said. This is from July 27th, 2010. It says Iran's President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad has stated that the U.S. and Israel are planning to launch 2 military attacks in the Middle East in the near future as part of a psychological war on Tehran. In an interview with Iran's English language press TV, the Islamic Republic's leader claimed that they, quote, have precise information that the Americans had devised a plot according to which they seek to launch a psychological war on Iran, end quote. The Americans, quote, plan to attack at least 2 countries in the region within the next 3 months. Quote, Ahmadinejad is quoted as saying he did not clarify, though, which specific countries they would be. And this is what the point of this video and video series is about, is that I believe it is Syria or Libya. And when you go to InfoWars article, it even says, well, the writer, the author, Steve Watson, says, though Ahmadinejad did not elaborate on which 2 countries were in the U.S. crosshairs, it must be assumed he is referring to Syria and Lebanon, both Iranian allies and both previous targets of U.S.-backed Israeli aggression in recent years. He's added that the U.S. has 2 main objectives, and I just wanted to say that as far as Syria goes, we do have U.S. troops over in Syria. I can confirm that, knowing some people, family members, and that have been there serving in the U.S. Army. So we do have troops in Syria. And the other thing I wanted to say too is that it's hard for Syria or Lebanon to really associate themselves with either country, Iran or the East or the West, because they go with the East and they, they're going to have the West after them, and then if they side with the West, with Israel and the U.S., then they have Hezbollah and Iran and all of them coming after them. So they're kind of stuck between a heart and a rock place, and that's pretty much their situation. But then I came across these 2 articles all of a sudden, just today, and it says Beirut arrests German spying for Israel. Lebanese security forces have arrested a German engineer on suspicion of spying for the notorious Israeli intelligence service. And I just learned I think MI5 is internal and MI6 is external. But it says the suspect, identified as Peter Mogg, was captured in the eastern Lebanese town of Talia on Monday. Press TV correspondent reported from Beirut the man who is the first foreign national to be arrested over espionage activities worked at the Lebanon Late Dairy Factory. And it says, oh, actually quite interesting. The new arrest comes as dozens of people have been with Mossad, including members of Lebanese security forces and telecom personnel. Earlier, Lebanon detained 3 people who worked at the state-owned telecommunication company Alpha as part of its crackdown on Israeli spy networks across the country, launched in April 2009. And finishing up, says last week, the Lebanese cabinet unanimously agreed to file a complaint with the UN Security Council against Israel over its alleged role in setting up spy rings in Lebanon. And here's this other article, again, posted at AP today. Natural gas could lead to new Lebanon-Israel war. So you see how this is happening, guys? It's the pinning up of 2 countries. It'll start with Lebanon and Israel, and it will drag Iran into it, or Iran will have no other choice. It's all coercion. That's how all of this works. And it really is just a chess game. It says the discovery of a large natural gas reserves under the waters of eastern the Med could potentially mean a huge economic windfall for Israel and Lebanon, both resource-poor nations, if it doesn't spark a new war between them. So please join me in this next video of this 2-part video series on Iran. Thank you.